Hi, welcome to the latest ECIST podcast. My name's Nick Holding. I'm an improvement manager with the Emergency Care Improvement Support Team, and I'm really pleased today to be chatting with Julie from Move It or Lose It to talk about the work and how it links to the Reconditioning Games. Julie, just want to introduce yourself and say a little bit about yourself.
I will indeed. Hi, Nick. Yes, I'm Julie Robinson and I'm the founder of Move It or Lose It, which I set up in 2010 with the aim of trying to help older people and those with long-term health conditions to stay active so they can live longer, better.
Brilliant. Yeah, that's really interesting. So just building on a bit more, what is it? Tell us a bit more about where it all started, how it came about, what are the kind of things that you're involved in now? What's the whole purpose behind Move It or Lose It?
Okay, well, it all came about because I've always been involved in exercise, physical activity. I was a PE teacher many years ago, and then I moved from teaching children to helping women. In those days, it was in the 80s. It was the time of Jane Fonda, the leotards and the leg warmers and aerobics, and it was really trying to help women to lose weight and stay active. And so throughout my life, that's been a theme, trying to make exercise enjoyable and fun so that people feel the benefit. But then when I was approaching my 50s, I wanted to do something different. And my parents were aging and suffering with some problems, health problems. And I realised I hadn't got a clue how to help them. So I actually delved a little deeper. I did some training. And I set up some classes for older people in my local community and in a care home. And I found I loved it. I absolutely loved it. It was so rewarding. I gave up the teaching completely and just started to put all my efforts into this. And it grew so rapidly, I couldn't keep up with the demand. But how Move It or Lose It started was because the class members would say, well, I can't remember what to do when I go home. And we tried all sorts of ways to give them a sheet with some exercises on, which didn't work. In the end, I made a DVD to try and help them do their exercises at home as well as in the class, because the class brings them together to socialise. And that's how it began, because they came up with the name. They said, don't put the word exercise in the title, it'll put everybody off. So they said, Move It or Lose It. They starred in the DVD in their 70s and 80s with all health conditions known, just to try and say, look, if I can do it, so can you, and encourage other people. And that's how it began. But really, to zoom forward, we made 5 DVDs, wrote a book, but joined with the University of Birmingham and their Centre for Healthy Ageing Research with Professor Janet Lord to try and bring the science into this as well, the research and the evidence that we can translate to grassroots to make it easy for people to achieve the sort of things they need to do to impact positively upon their health. And I then developed it into a qualification, got that nationally endorsed. So we've been training people to teach these classes, Move It or Lose It classes all over the country ever since.
Fantastic, Judith. So fascinating, especially how you've taken it from what your original passion was, and then as your career has progressed, and you sort of followed that, and sounds like you've really cottoned onto something that really floats your boat as well. So you talked there about the classes, and possibly the perception may be that it's only for certain people, those kind of classes. Who are the kind of people who comes along to your classes? Who's it for?
Well, we mainly reach people that don't normally think they can or should exercise. They're the ones that we really need to reach, the ones that don't go to the gym or are struggling to go for nice long walks or, play tennis and things like this. So they're the ones that are becoming frailer. They are deconditioning and were hit so dreadfully during the pandemic and lockdown. We're seeing that so much now. But they know they should be being active, but they don't know how, and they need that encouragement and guidance so that they're not going to do any harm, and we let them join in and work at their own pace. And the reason that it's for anyone is because all the exercises can be done seated or standing. So we do, it's called FABS, and that's flexibility, aerobics, balance and strength. So we do a little bit of everything. The music is so important because it makes it feel like fun. We have a few games and activities for the brain and coordination and a bit of interaction and laughter, which is the best medicine. So it's a real all-round kind of experience. And once people have come, they realise they can do it. And that just means they're going to keep coming back, and then they stay there.
Brilliant. I think the fun thing is something we're picking up on a lot. It's the, it doesn't have to be difficult. We're seeing a lot of activities both in hospital and out of hospital, like you're seeing, and it's just having a bit of fun. And then we're hearing back from a lot of people in hospital, patients, people in their own homes, about the things that are happening around the reconditioning games, which is, it was just great fun. We're not seeing it necessarily as activities that they feel like they have to get involved in. It's just that fun element. I think that's really great to hear, because I think we all know it, don't we? If we enjoy exercise, we're likely to do a bit more of it, and I think we can all relate to that a little bit. So, but I'm sure there are people who can't get into classes. They can't find them. What about those people who maybe can't attend some of the classes?
Yes, and originally, Move It or Lose It was about resources to help people be active at home, hence the DVDs and the book. But obviously we've moved on quite some time since we started that. And for those who can get online, we've got a club called Move It or Lose It Club. We're actually given some funding through Sport England and National Lottery to try and prevent deconditioning, to make sure over the pandemic, when they realised so many people were not getting out and suffering. So we created a club to try and make it feel like a class where there is fun, there is connection, but you can just come and join either a live class, which we do 3 or 4 times a week, or there's loads and loads of pre-recorded videos. We also have a book club there, and a monthly cuppa and a chat, a talk from a physiotherapist, a pharmacist, hobbies and crafts and other activities. So again, it creates a little bit of a sense of community, not quite the same as being in the same room, but for some, it's been a bit of a lifeline, particularly for carers who can't get out. Particularly for people whose mobility is such they can't get to a class, or there isn't one close enough, especially in rural locations. So it's definitely helped some people, and we give a month for free so people can come and give it a try, see if they like it first.
Is that access? I think you spoke before about there's an app as well. Is that access through the app?
So that's separate. The club is separate to the app. And that's where we've really wanted to focus in on reconditioning, or the End PJ Paralysis campaign. So we recorded some exercises done in a chair and in a hospital bed, to show these very, very gentle mobilizing exercises, so that people can start to do that to help them get up, get dressed and get moving. So the app is called Get Up and Go, but what we've just done now, Nick, is we've put all those exercises on our YouTube channel as well. So it's completely free. Anyone can go and look and see, is this suitable for themselves or someone they care for, or if it's a professional, medical professional, to see if they think that might be helpful on the wards or in a care setting.
Brilliant. So we'll put that link on the end of the video here, so anybody watching can follow that. That'd be fantastic. You mentioned PJ Paralysis there, and we are definitely standing on the shoulders of giants here in terms of that work that was done previously by Brian and plenty of others as well, and really sort of building on those principles of getting people up, dressed and moving. Possibly, and we've spoken before. We connected on Twitter through the Reconditioning Games. What's the work that you're doing now related to both PJ Paralysis and the Reconditioning Games?
Yes, so we really want to try and work as much as we can with you and with Brian, and come and do more, get more involved with that, so that we can just tell people about all the things that we've got to offer. There are free resources such as the YouTube channel, loads and loads of things that people can use there, the Get Up and Go app. but also we want to try and get people to classes wherever we could. And we've got things like the cuppa routine. That's 4 very simple exercises that you can do in the time it takes to boil a kettle. So again, it's prompting the thought that even in your own home, you can do something very simple that will just keep the legs strong, keep the arms strong, help your balance. So it just really taps into that reconditioning and trying to help people do something for themselves so that they feel more capable and stay independent.
I think that's really important for get that message across, the simplicity of some of the things. I think when we've spoken to a number of teams across the country, it's the simple things that are making a difference.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be really valuable to pick up on some of those really, as you said, those really simple things that, you know, while you're boiling the kettle, while you're just waiting for something to happen, you can, you know, picking up some of those simple techniques that will just help you in your both at home yourselves as well, but also in healthcare settings as well. I know that some of your instructors have already been out there and they're already applying for medals as well for the work that you're doing. So, you know, that's been fantastic. So I'd encourage lots of people to apply for those medals, because that's about recognition and about knowing that the work that you're doing is being recognised as well. So, and this is open to anyone. But it's been brilliant to chat to you, Julie. Really appreciate your time this afternoon, and we are looking forward to linking with you more. I know you've got a few other connections across the NHS as well that you're going to be linking in with. I think it's really important that we do find out about people like yourselves as well. So often we know what's happening in organisations, but don't necessarily know some of the other activities that's happening. These community groups, particularly bringing people together, is such an important part of just getting people up and moving as well. Because we know through the pandemic, people have felt a bit more constrained and a bit, you know, they've been at home and they haven't been able to get out as much as they used to. So having a sense of purpose about going out to a class or some kind of community is so valuable. So thank you for the work that you're doing. I think it's absolutely brilliant. And thank you for the work that you.
Absolute pleasure. And yeah, we really want to tap into that social prescribing wherever we can, because just knowing for a social prescriber to think, well, where can I suggest this person goes to stay active? They're not going to go to the gym and they can't go off on that walk up the hill. So just to know that there's a Move It or Lose It class, and hopefully the more instructors we get, the more classes we get, the more easy it will be for them to come and just come and enjoy getting together with people, because it doesn't feel like exercise, like you said, when you're having fun.
Absolutely. So keep it moving. All that is really important work. So keep doing more. That's would be fantastic. Anything we do to help in support that, please do. I hope everybody's enjoyed this podcast. Now I've enjoyed catching up with Julie. If you want to find out more, there'll be a link at the end and in the details in the section on YouTube here. So please follow the link. In the meantime, it's been great to talk to you, Julie, and thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Nick.